Welcome to Make Possible Bitesize, a weekly podcast brought to you by Permutive, championing change in publishing, advertising, and beyond. Each episode, we chat to an inspiring guest about their careers, their lives, and how they're making change possible. Let's bite right in.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Ogunjobi, the Customer Success Lead for North America here at Permutive. Today on the show, I'm joined by Ken Blom, the SVP of Ad Strategy and Partnerships at BuzzFeed. Hi Ken.
Hey Michael, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How's it going?
Pretty good. First time, long time. I've always wanted to say that on a podcast.
Well, that was your chance. Well done. So thanks for joining me on this episode. How about we start with a quick intro on who you are and what you do over at BuzzFeed?
Yeah, sure. As you said, SVP of Ad Strategy and Partnerships at BuzzFeed. Which really boils down to help us deliver, plan, and optimize on our monetization, our products, and our ad strategy. At BuzzFeed, we're a diverse, company and diverse in revenue streams, and we're always evolving to the market. But, it really breaks down to our media business, which is display, pre-roll, branded content, studio and platform relationships, licensing, affiliate, and all the way down to innovation and events. So the way that we sort of structure the team is sort of from an end to end and being horizontal. So we have many groups that, anywhere from account management, social insights, distribution, to the other side, which might be more back of the house, pricing, planning, ops, research, and effectiveness. I'm sure I've missed a few groups here and there, but it takes a lot, especially it's a lot about being adaptable and flexible to what makes the most sense for the publisher at the time.
Absolutely. Great stuff. I mean, having worked with you, I know the execution is even more impressive than how you've just kind of modestly described it. To say it takes a village is, to say the least. So yeah, thanks for running us through that.
Yeah, several villages.
So let's kick off with our first Make Possible question. I'm sure there are a ton to choose from, but what are you most proud of?
Yeah, I think like this year, while incredibly difficult across, so many different reasons and factors, there's also been moments of it being oddly rewarding and finding a lot of truth, and sort of things that are coming out of that. So, maybe this is recency bias, but short term, I'm most proud of how the BuzzFeed team has really reacted and adapted and stayed flexible and nimble in the market environments. When you look back at March, a lot of tough decisions made, a lot of uncertainty. Things have gotten better, but it's still extremely uncertain. And I think as an org and a business, we've been, getting better about being flexible and adaptable, which something that I think is going to ring true in 2021. And then I also wanted to, when I saw the question, I wanted to share a story that I think it was about 6 years ago or so when we first launched Tasty. I was running ads on Facebook, and a Facebook engineer sort of paused all of our accounts and said, "You guys must be committing fraudulent behaviors because we were getting, incredible results from one ad. This one ad was reaching 10 million people, which was not supposed to happen when you only spend $100. And like at the end of the day, it's the combination of like content, Tasty, the timing. We broke Facebook, and they thought we were cheating the algorithm. And that sort of at BuzzFeed has always been sort of like my most proud moments to sort of be sitting across a few different things and getting us to a place where like maybe we have an edge on the platforms.
Amazing. So you literally were the glitch in the matrix.
Right. Took the blue pill that day.
I imagine that the office was pretty frantic that day. How did you get it resolved in the end?
It's funny. It's like the office probably never knew about this. A larger moment that the office really knew about it was when we exploded a watermelon. But as far as our Facebook accounts going down, that was like actually only on my radar.
That's amazing. So moving on to the second question. So what are you focusing on today to really move the needle for the business?
Yeah, I touched on it a little bit. Like I think that the first part is sort of that flexibility in today's marketplace. Um, you know, TV budgets or digital budgets, everything is in flux, and advertisers can't see 10 weeks out, let alone 3 weeks, right? So how do we all get our product, our process, and everything we're doing to sort of think about that condensed timeline to match what the advertisers are in need of in market, right? And I think that's very true. It was very true in Q3, very true in Q4, and I think there's going to be, a lot of that happening in 2021. So, what we're focusing on is how do we take branded, a lot of those lines of business, branded content, display and media, as well as, a lot of the things that we're doing with the commerce and affiliate, and having them all inform each other in a way that can, be a little bit more turnkey for clients, happen in that 3 to 4 week time frame, and just really be something where we're helping as a publisher with all of the things that we're doing. We're sort of productizing it and putting it into sort of one spot. And at the end of the day, this is something everybody says, like we're focused on outcomes. Outcomes are what are going to drive business for our clients, and that's really what we're anchoring around.
It sounds like organizationally, there's definitely. It sounds like you're going to have to focus on how you maybe kind of reshift the organization to adapt. What's that look like so far?
Yeah, we've shifted our organization from our sales approach as well as the sort of back of house, but thinking about accounts and areas of accounts that we can grow, in addition to those clients who are a little bit more legacy and lean. So, the traditional thing is as grocery changes, or you have sort of a shift in the marketplace where everyone's doing on-demand food delivery, typically there isn't a team thinking just about that sector, and how do we make products and how do we make media ad products for them. We're able to sort of shift to that really quickly, because as we see something happen and we think it's going to stick around, not just 3 months, but for years, we want to cater to that business. So rather than the traditional verticals of entertainment, CPG, and so on and so forth, we're really focused on what are the verticals that are shifting more rapidly.
It's really interesting that you say that. I think one thing that I've heard a lot of throughout kind of this year is that Q2 of 2020 has really hastened the transformation across the board in multiple people's businesses. It sounds like that's something that you can really relate to at BuzzFeed.
Right. I think the common comment is sort of, Q2 and COVID accelerated maybe the shift to digital commerce. What was going to 10 years might take 5. And everything, that's just one example. And as we look at those things and we look at the way consumers are spending, and we're trying to think not just about, is this what people are doing today, but is it going to be something that's sustainable for the future?
Yeah. Great. So moving on to our final question for today's show. What has been your guiding light or philosophy in making things possible, both personally and professionally?
Yeah, I think, and this is something I have been at BuzzFeed for 8 years, and something that we said from the early days was having an ongoing curiosity, and that has been something that from our CEO to when we're onboarding everyone at BuzzFeed, that we're consistently thinking about, and most of our breakthroughs, whether it be tasty or whether it be exploding a watermelon in the office, or maybe breaking Facebook's algorithm, it was because no one said like, hey, let's go do this. It was just more like, oh, what would it look like if we did that? And giving people a lot of freedom and almost living in an R&D environment every day. one, you learn a lot more, but two, it allows you to say, I'm going to try this, and it's okay if I fail. So let's fail fast if we're going to do it. And that compared with just trying to understand where the market is, what platforms are doing, and think 2 and 3 steps ahead has really been sort of the guiding principles that I've thought about a lot, as well as everyone we work with.
So it sounds like doing enough or doing just enough is not enough.
Right. Yeah. Like doing it is fine. Thinking about why is even better, and then thinking about how what might happen in 2 months or 2 years, and what do you need to do to prepare for that is even more important.
Amazing. I think that's a pretty solid takeaway for us to end this episode on. Ken, thank you so much for being a part of today. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was great. It was super fast. I can't believe we're done.
Time flies when you're having fun. So that leaves me with thanking all the listeners and viewers for tuning into the Make Possible Bite Size. We'll be back next week with an inspiring guest talking us through what they do to champion change, think in exciting new ways, and to really make a difference. See ya.
Thanks, S.